What's up, guys? Well, the 2019 NFL Draft is done with. And was that ever an adventure? Did anybody else have to scrap up their mock draft in short time? Yeah, because we were like way off. As usual, this draft had a handful of home run selections that will pay off big time in the immediate future. On the flip side, some teams made very poor selections, ones that already look regrettable. I'm Biondo, and today we present the 5 greatest picks from the 2019 NFL Draft and the 5 absolute worst. Don't forget to leave your video ideas down below. We'll be looking, and if we pick your idea, we'll give you a shout out in the video. So you can be shouted out in a TPS video and have your idea be used. So comment down below right now. Don't forget to subscribe to TPS and put on your notifications because we post videos every single day. Every day's a new video. Tomorrow, today, yesterday, every day. Every day's a new video. Subscribe. Number 5, great pick, Jawaan Taylor. The Florida offensive tackle was supposed to go fairly early in the first round. We had Taylor going to the Miami Dolphins at number 13 in our March mock draft, but the Jacksonville Jaguars stayed patient and got Taylor with the 35th selection. How he fell to the Jaguars so late is beyond us. How many of you had fellow offensive lineman Andre Dillard and Titus Howard going before Taylor? Jacksonville's O-line wasn't terrible by any means in 2019, but you can never have too much pass protection. New quarterback Nick Foles should do just fine with this new team. And the Jaguars are doing a great job of building around the Super Bowl 52 MVP. And honestly, I think they have a really good chance this year. We love this pick for the Jaguars. Taylor is as polished as they come for an offensive lineman. They should send a gift basket to every team who took another offensive lineman before Taylor. Number 5, worst pick, Mecole Hardman. The Kansas City Chiefs might be the biggest losers of the NFL offseason so far, and they didn't exactly make things better at the draft. Tyreek Hill is a goner. Bye-bye. He's out. The Chiefs' awful defense cut ties with Justin Houston, Eric Berry, and Dee Ford in the offseason. They gave up way too much to acquire Frank Clark from the Seattle Seahawks as well. The Chiefs raised eyebrows when they took Georgia wideout Mecole Hardman with the 56th selection in 2019. Obviously, they're hopeful that he'll be able to replace Hill's production. No guarantee that it happens, though. Also, Hardman wasn't smart enough to delete some old tweets, as most millennials are. Sports Gossip leaked some of Hardman's tweets from 2012, 13, and 14, ones that featured a lot of homophobic slurs. The Chiefs have been burned for picking up all of these players with serious criminal offenses in the past. And now they're taking a player with some controversial social media activity like they don't even care. Also, did the Chiefs really have to worry about a wideout right now? Travis Kelce, Damian Williams, and Sammy Watkins are good enough. They could have used some help in the secondary. Number 4, great pick, Drew Lock. Now Denver Broncos GM John Elway has missed the vast majority of his draft picks since the team's Super Bowl 50 championship. But oh my, it is hard to not love this man after everything he did on draft weekend in Nashville. Many mock drafts had Elway taking Missouri quarterback Drew Lock with the number 10 selection. Instead, to ruin all of those mock drafts, Elway traded that pick to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He got a premium player in Noah Fant at number 20, adding a big-time weapon to Denver's offense. Elway waited and waited. Finally, Lock fell to him with the 42nd pick. This was just pure genius by Elway in every way. He moved down in the draft and still got the QB of the future he needed. He made some great picks before Lock as well. The Broncos, in short, are now in great shape to contend for Super Bowls again in the very near future. Lock isn't by any means a lock to succeed. Do you get it? Lock? Whatever. But this was the time for Elway to take his shot on another QB. And now Lock gets to wait patiently behind Joe Flacco before possibly taking over as the starter. This was just a great pick by Elway. It was the cherry on top of a wonderful draft for the Hall of Fame quarterback. Number 4, worst pick, Rashawn Gary. As talented as Gary is, many are aware that he has a high bust potential. But we also think the Green Bay Packers needed to use the number 12 pick elsewhere. Outside linebacker isn't exactly the Packers' biggest organizational need after all. The Packers actually had a good defense in 2018, and they signed a trio of impact players in free agency. Safety Adrian Amos and linebackers Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith. So why did they add another player to an already solid and established front seven? We just don't understand this in any way. Aaron Rodgers needs more help on the offensive line. Noah Fant would have been a grade A selection. A cornerback would have been smart here as well. We just don't think this was the smart play for the Packers, who can't afford to miss their picks as Aaron Rodgers enters the final years of his prime. Number 3, great pick, Greedy Williams. There's almost no way the Cleveland Browns could have thought they'd wind up with Greedy Williams. They traded their first-round pick to the New York Giants in the Odell Beckham trade, and Williams was supposed to go in the first round. There was little doubt about that, or so we thought. Williams, arguably the best offensive back prospect in the draft, fell to John Dorsey with the 46th spot. Now Williams joins a defense that includes fellow stud corner Denzel Ward and pass-rushing sensation Myles Garrett. Williams will be an excellent fit for new defensive coordinator Steve Wilks, who has plenty of toys toys to work with now. The 6'2" Williams is going to be a major pain in the neck for opposing wide receivers, who will have a heck of a time fighting off his big athletic frame. Williams and Ward in short time could become the next great cornerback duo. The Browns are a changed team now. They're hitting their picks. Williams might struggle a bit in his rookie year, but this selection should pay off big time in the long run. Number 3, worst pick, Dexter Lawrence. The New York Giants look like they struck out in the drafts again. And as a Jets fan, oh well. The team already had the league's best run stuffer in Damon Snacks Harrison, but they traded him to the Detroit Lions for a 5th-round pick during the 2018 campaign. So why on earth would the Giants trade for an elite run stopper for a 5th-rounder? Then use the number 17 pick on Clemson nose tackle Dexter Lawrence. No offense to Lawrence, but he's much better known for his run-stuffing abilities than his pass rushing. The Giants essentially traded Snacks Harrison for a 5th, then used their first on a guy they hope they can develop into their next Snacks Harrison. And the not-so-friendly reminder that the Giants got Lawrence as a part of the Odell Beckham Jr. trade with Cleveland. What are the odds he'll end up being anything close to the impact player OBJ was in New York? And not only are we worried about Lawrence being a bust, but there were simply better guys on the board. Jeffrey Simmons and Montez Sweat were there. Same with offensive linemen Garrett Bradbury and Andre Dillard. We also think Eli would have loved another offensive playmaker. N'Keal Harry or Marquise Brown would have been wise picks as well. Marquise Brown was such a heartfelt story. He was crying, he was so happy, good for him. But again, oh well, this is the Giants for you guys. Number 2, great pick, Jonah Williams. The Cincinnati Bengals might have the worst roster in the NFL right now. Heading into this draft, they had a million paths to go down, and we're sure things were overly stressful in the team draft room. But in a sentence that almost nobody utters, we actually love what the Bengals did here. They took Alabama offensive tackle Jonah Williams with the number 11 selection, and the 2018 unanimous All-American should immediately repair an O-line that's been horrible for several years. It's always dangerous to make such claims, but Williams had a very low chance of being a bust. He's really one of the safest selections in recent memory. The Bengals can use Williams all over their O-line, and he should help keep Andy Dalton upright while paving holes for the Bengals running backs. No matter how good or bad the Bengals are in 2019, Williams promises to be a huge bright spot for the team. Just a great pick all around. And for once, Bengals fans are allowed to smile again, so good for you guys. Number 2, worst pick, Clelin Ferrell. The Oakland Raiders went off the board and took Clemson defensive end Clelin Ferrell with the 4th overall pick. We aren't trying to say that Ferrell will be a bust, but the Raiders just could have probably traded back to get Ferrell. Just ask this guy. Yeah, he ain't happy. Also, the Raiders had better options on the board here than Ferrell. Ed Oliver would have been the smarter pick. Josh Allen would have been the ideal player for John Gruden to rebuild his defense around. But they did not do that. The Raiders had 3 first-round picks to spare here. Gruden could have gotten a nice package by shopping the number 4 selection. I mean, he should have looked to trade up for Nick Bosa or Quinnen Williams. We just don't think Ferrell is going to outperform a large portion of the players that went after him. But hey, we say that every year about certain draft picks, and they end up proving us wrong, so maybe they'll prove us wrong again. Number 1, great pick, Ed Oliver. Just how high is Ed Oliver's ceiling? People are calling him a steal, and he was taken rather early with the 9th overall pick in this year's draft. There are some cases where a team needs to take the best player available and simply strengthen strength. This was one of those times for the Bills, who already have one of the most dominant front sevens in football. Oliver will be a great replacement for a longtime Bills defensive tackle Kyle Williams, who retired after the 2018 season. The 6'3", 290-pound Oliver is going to flourish under head coach Sean McDermott, who has quickly built this defense into a formidable top 5 unit. Oliver registered 53 tackles for a loss, 13.5 sacks, and 5 forced fumbles in his 3 years at Houston. He's going to be ready to deliver right off the bat, and the Bills, who only had 36 sacks in 2018, will have fixed their pass rush. The Bills didn't have to trade up or anything to get Oliver. They just had to wait and got away with perhaps the best possible player for their system. Now the Bills are getting ready to contend for a Super Bowl. Josh Allen should take some leaps, and this defense will only get better with Oliver leading the way. This was a grand slam of a pick for the Bills, and we expect Oliver to produce right away. So good for you guys. You deserve it. Number 1, worst pick, Daniel Jones. Alright, this is nothing against Daniel Jones, whose stock really skyrocketed in the final weeks before the draft. But the New York Giants really botched this pick in more ways than one. But why should we be surprised? The Giants haven't done anything right since their Super Bowl 46 championship season. We're glad the Giants finally had the guts to take Eli Manning's successor, but they should have taken a more talented QB in Dwayne Haskins or Drew Lock. The Giants, by the way, could have really traded down and take Jones later. None of the teams that picked from 7 to 14 would have taken Jones, and the Washington Redskins were probably going to take Dwayne Haskins anyway. The New York Giants could have easily compiled more draft picks and taken Jones later in the first round. Or they could have taken somebody like Josh Allen or Ed Oliver here, then trade up to get Jones later. Nothing against Jones, but it was too easy for the Giants to take him, and he might not even become the starter for 1 or 2 more years. The Giants need help now. We just don't know with this team anymore. Who do you think were the best and worst picks from the 2019 NFL Draft? Join me in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post videos every single week. I just wore a diaper to the Avengers premiere. It was really embarrassing, but it was funny. So go subscribe. Make sure to subscribe to TPS because we post videos every single day. Every day is a new video. So why would you not want sports content every day? Go subscribe. If you like this video, give it a like. It takes 1 click right down there. Smash that like button. That's all you gotta do. Just smash that like button. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo, and I'll see you next time.
My knee.